it's Cecile.
And Jenny.
We are back in this episode of Things in My Head podcast, episode, I believe, 7, if I'm correct.
Yep.
Is all about Jen. And I have been looking forward to this for 9 years.
Oh, goodness.
So, hi, everybody. Thank you guys for watching. We are Things in My Head podcast. You can find us. Our socials are Things in My Head podcast on Instagram. And email is thingsinmyheadpodcast@gmail.com. You can find our boutique page, with most of you guys probably know us from Brooks Boutique in Pearland. Thank you guys. I love you. Our Instagram and TikTok is Love Brooks Boutique, and my personal Instagram is Sweet and Petite Duo. So please follow all our socials for all the behind the scenes, all the fun, and all the sales and discounts.
Yeah.
Which is what you know is for. Okay. So I'm going to head right straight to it because I'm super excited. So Jen has been with us at the boutique, and I've seen this young woman grow since 2015. 9 years, I believe, in November.
Oh,
15th, if I know correctly. She's that important to me. But what I thought we would do is get to know her, for you guys to get to know her. Even though for our boutique friends, Jen is actually amazing and does a lot of the lives, which, if I have to tell you, is such a 360, 180, maybe 180. 360 means you come back around. 180 from what probably her natural tendency is and how she is in the first 7 years since I've known her. No, I mean, you did lives when we were in Missouri City, but it was okay, let me just tell you what I think and tell me if you feel like I'm wrong in describing you. So Jen is quieter, and she works with, and she's going to talk about what it's like to work with some crazies, like like some loud people like me and Lauren and Brooke. But so she is much quieter as a person. She doesn't need a lot of attention or validation from others. She is introverted as most comfortable in that sense. A great one-on-one, because if you've ever been to the boutique and you're talking to Jen one-on-one, you feel like you are everything. Like she gives you her full attention. She gives you all the details you need to know. You have her. So definitely great one-on-one, and kind of is private. Like, I can't say I know a whole lot about her personal life because I won't intrude like I will others, because I respect her privacy. But she's definitely very private, but also very warm. I don't think people know how funny she is. What a great friend. The girls all get along. So even as opposite as she are from probably the majority of the personalities at the boutique, everyone loves her, and she's like the rock, kind of like the stability. Oh, that's another thing. She doesn't fluctuate too much on her emotions, in the sense of, like, some of us get a little hot really quick or get irritated, as normal humans do, but Jen kind of keeps it real cool. Like, I don't think much phases her. She's just like, it's fine, So those are her natural traits. So that being said, I thought it would be great to come on, and I'm sure you'll come on several times as this podcast grows, but to talk about what it's like to work with that personality, what that personality has in an impactful way, or working with us in a very, like, extroverted type of business with extroverted people. And then I also wanted to talk about that in the 9 years, I don't know if you saw on our Instagram page at the boutique, Lauren and Jen went to St. Louis this past weekend for 4 days for our national resale conference, and it's a huge deal. And she's never gone before. She's heard over it's annual. And usually I go. This is the first year I haven't gone, and I had the girls go. And so she's always heard about it, and she probably was like, not my thing, Yeah. But I really did push her to go as a manager, and she was apprehensive about it. So we're going to talk about that in general on the second half of this, because some of you guys might relate to what that feels like. Because I not having gone with her, but just seeing pictures and videos and what Lauren was telling me on the side, I am really impressed, and I thank you for going. Honestly, I do. She was impressed herself. So anyway, hi, Jen.
Hi.
Okay, so tell us what it's like for you working here.
I guess with like the different personalities, I think that opposites attract.
And even how it changed over the years might be good.
Yeah, I think that when you have like a louder personality and I'm a more quieter personality, I think it works better because it's like opposites.
Okay.
So what you do when you're the louder personality allows me to kind of fall back.
Yeah.
And I don't have to do the things that I don't want to do. So like when I work with Lauren, which is great, she is so extroverted and bubbly and it just comes
I
so
thought you were
natural.
going to end with she's so extra, but I'm just kidding.
So extroverted.
I love her.
She does such a good job. Like when we were on the plane, we were sitting and there was a girl. She was young. She was our age, actually exactly our age. And she sat next to us. She was like, is this seat taken? I was like, no. And
You're like, yes.
I was like, by the end of NARTS, my battery was dead.
They went on Southwest where you have to like fight for your seats.
Yeah.
So that's why.
It was a big plane, thank God. So there was a lot of seats, but she decided to sit with us. And at the end of NARTS, my social battery was completely dead. Like I was like, I can barely say my name. I can barely think straight. Like I just felt drained. So she sat next to us. I'm thinking, okay, she's not going to say anything. I've got my headphones on. Like I'm just going to zone out for like an hour and a half and then we'll be back home soon. And she starts talking to us.
Oh, you mean on the way back home?
Yeah.
Okay.
She starts talking to us and I'm like,
You're like, son of a gun.
Yeah. I'm like, she's so nice. And
Wait, were you in the middle?
Yes.
Your middle seat. Okay.
Yeah. So she's so nice. And then, the great thing, I guess this is a good example of like working with a bigger personality. Lauren has a bigger personality. So she starts doing all the talking and I kind of just hang back, but I'm in the middle. So they're like talking
You're
through
like, Lauren,
me.
you want to switch?
And she's like, and Jen does this. And she's like explaining my story for me. And since she knows me so well, it allows me to be like, whew, I don't have to like do the socialization that I just feel like I'll say the wrong thing or I don't know what to say or we also got a free like little Coke can. Like the flight attendant gave us like a full one.
Yeah.
He was like, here you go. And I was like
score.
I didn't pay for this.
It's free.
I know, but when you're so tired, my battery is so dead that I was like, I didn't pay for that.
You said that?
Yeah. Because I was like, did I ask for that? And I'm just like asking for things.
Yeah.
Like I'm so tired I can't track what I'm doing anymore. And I was like, that was free, right? And she was like, yeah, he just gave that to you. And I was like, okay.
Can I make a note here, just FYI on the side, because not a lot actually. Y'all didn't talk to me that much, but when Lauren would text me and be like on the conference and be like, "Oh my God, I'm so proud of Jen. She's doing so good." Of course, I was like, and she's talking, she's great. I was like this. I was like, also because Lauren and Soraya are best friends, college friends.
Yeah.
So we went last year. I made them share a room. But this year I was like 2 separate rooms, obviously, because I know you need your own space at the end of the day, as to regroup. So after that, I was like, you're just it's okay if she just wants to go back to the room and like chill in the sense of regroup, because that's a lot for that.
And Lauren was definitely really good. She was like, if you need to go back to the room and just relax, we can do that. Of course, the trip for me really was extending myself and kind of pushing myself to kind of grow a bit, because most of the time at first I was kind of like, I don't know if I want to do this because it seems like it's going to be a lot of talking.
You mean go to NARTS?
Yeah.
Yes. So if I back up for our listeners, when we started talking about this back in April, I kept saying, oh, this would be great. But I didn't force you. But I was like, do you want to go? But then there was no real answer for weeks. But I was trying to make like arrangements. So, and on the side, everything's on the side. On the side, I was like, Lauren, I don't know. I don't know if she wants to, because this definitely is outside of her thing. And I don't want to force her, because I don't want any panic attacks on my behalf. So, but I will say, then you finally were like, I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I think that I kind of reflected with myself and I was like, you should do this. This is, you should grow. Nothing good comes easy. So, if you want to push past something that you're insecure about, you need to do it.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'm going to go and do it.
Good.
And I didn't really think about it after I made the decision to go until we were on the flight.
Before that, when you were still apprehensive, what were you thinking? Because I think people can relate to it's like we just talked about on the last podcast. The path of least resistance is always the easier one in your mind.
I think that I'm a kind of person that will choose, emotionally at least, not with other things, but emotionally, I choose the path of least resistance in many things in my life. It kind of holds me back.
Yeah.
So I think that this trip was a good reason for me to say, you know what, it's not going to be, you know, because I like to go home to my own room, you know, your own space. Like those things are super important to me because I will have a full-blown like panic attack. I will feel very anxious. And the weirdest thing for me, and I don't know if other people experience it this way, but I won't feel anxious in the moment. Oh, shoot. All right. I won't feel anxious in the moment, but after it's all said and done and I'm by myself in my room, that is when everything will hit me. I'll be like, I can't believe I said that. Was that the wrong thing to say?
You start rethinking everything.
Yeah. I'm like, that was a bad idea. I shouldn't have said that. Or you didn't talk, or, you know, you just like made a mistake or something like that. Sorry, the doggies are over there. It's so cute. But yeah.
And then you get mad at yourself?
Yes, I get frustrated with myself. I start to like overthink everything, and that'll lead to the anxiety, which will plague me for the rest of the day.
Okay.
Because I'll be like, oh my gosh. Then the next day I'll start thinking about everything I do, and it just kind of builds into.
So was that what you were worried about, to go to something like that?
Yeah. And then if my battery, like my social battery dies, I was nervous that I wouldn't represent our store.
Yeah.
Like, you know, they know us from the lives, and, you know, they know us for like doing luxury consignment, and like we give off a certain aesthetic. And I sometimes worry, do I hold that up? You know?
Yeah.
Do I look what they think I should look?
Yeah, I can understand where where we get in life, right? People think, am I what I think that people think I am?
Yeah.
And disappoint people when they
That's
think
what I was
not,
thinking,
right?
you know?
Yeah.
Am I going to be... It's underwhelming. And also, Lauren is so good. She is so good. So it is kind of hard to stand next to somebody that's so good at something and then you're not as good at it. So I more took it like I kind of like picked up what she was doing and then kind of tried and use it myself.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, then I'm very proud of you for going. And then probably was best that you didn't think about it too much until there. So you didn't like get yourself
psyched up.
And be like, I'm not going. I'm like, yes, you are.
The flight
I've already paid it. Well, I'll tell you, I wanted to also have you go if you felt comfortable, because I personally think you've always been a great representative of the boutique. I've been very honored and blessed to have you work for us so long. And also as a thank you, if you took it as a thank you, that's why it was never forced, because, you know, even last year when Soraya went and I knew you were uncomfortable. So I kind of like gravitated to Lauren and Soraya are best friends. They can go, you know, and y'all are both managers. But then I really was like, you've been here a long time and I want you to experience that as well, because for me, it's a great experience.
It's definitely a lot of good learning stuff.
Yeah.
But I think that I sometimes use when you guys leave, it's kind of fun because it's kind of like the parents are away.
Yeah.
Let's play.
Yeah. Well, I'm never there anymore. I'm never there anymore.
I was going to say, well, back in the day when you guys would go to Narts, then it's just me. So then, you know, it is kind of like relaxing because I'm like, okay, there's no other manager here. I can kind of do whatever, like how I see fit is the way it kind of goes.
Yeah.
And it's just less stressful. And I will tell you, the first day that we got to Narts and we were doing the first little like cocktails or whatever it was, we had like fruit punch or something, and I was thinking about it as we were talking to all these people. I was like, I actually kind of rather be at the boutique. I actually thought about it and I was like, I actually think I made a mistake.
Oh, you were already like, because you're like, no, I have to talk to people.
Yeah,
I have to talk to people. People
it's
are
just
here.
Like, also you don't know any of these people, like, so I'm asking all these, they don't know me and I don't have any prior connections. And so I think I was just getting stressed about that. But I called my best friend and she was like, Jen, you will have a great day tomorrow. Tomorrow will be better. So don't get, if you feel like you didn't do the best the first night, you will pick it up again tomorrow.
Let me ask you this. Did you share that with Lauren while you were there?
No.
Oh, so you just like,
I kind of handled the crisis on my own.
Well, I have a secret for you. Part of the reason why I also did not go this year, besides just I had other things to take care of like at home and wanting y'all to go, is the older I get, the more I'm going backwards. Like I also am like, I don't know if I want to go see all the people and all, though I walk into the room, be social. I'm not going to lie to you, even though this might be surprising, is we go and I will tell Lauren, don't leave me.
I know, right?
Don't leave me.
That's how I felt sometimes. I was like, if she goes, I'm going to sit by myself. But I kind of pushed myself to make my own connections because I didn't want to be like somebody that was just like riding the coattails the whole time. Yeah. So I was trying to push myself to like find my own connections. And like the first night was definitely like riding coattails because like what else are you gonna do? Right. You know nobody. Lauren already knows a lot of the people. They were coming up to her and saying, hey, how have you been? And I'm sure like, you know, it's just you overthinking it in your head. And then also I was thinking that first night is when I realized I've been doing this for 9 years and that is a long time. And I think that I know everything about it because, you know, there's nobody else that has as much experience as me except for you. So you feel like a really big fish, but you're in a small pond. And then you get dumped into a big pond and you realize that there are fish much bigger than you. And you kind of compare yourself. You're like, oh goodness, you know, that what gives you so much validation in your personal life is kind of taken away because you realize, wait a second, you don't know as much as you think. There's still more to learn, which is kind of good. But at the same time, I think it was just hitting me on the first night, making me kind of anxious. And
so what happened in day 2? You just switched your mindset?
Day 2, so that night I talked to my best friend for like 2 hours.
Oh, wow.
And she really boosted me up. She was like, Jen, you're resilient. You have been through more than this. You will fight back. You will get back up. And I was like, thanks. And we talked it out. And she was like, you're going to be good. And she sent me, I actually have 2 roommates right now. And both of them were like, you're going to do good. They sent me morning messages like, you've got this. You are going to do so good. Like, we're thinking of you. You're going to have a great day. And I think that kind of like psychologically boosted me. So the next day I did a lot better. And it was the bus tour. So you're traveling. It's like less pressure. Right. It's not all about talking. You're like looking around doing things. And you can talk to the employees that are working there, which of course I'm going to relate more to them than anybody that owns a company because I don't own a company. I work for something. So when I talk to them, they kind of more like they're on my level. Like we think about the same things. Yeah. So I was able to kind of like talk to them, make connections with them, and it was, I think, good. Yeah.
You know, thanks for sharing that, honestly, because when Lauren listens to this podcast, she's going to be really, like, she'll see it from her perspective. And I want to say thank you because that really does share that, you have a great support system, but it was hard for you. I mean, and I kind of knew it would be, but you don't always share how much. So for you to tell me that you talked to someone after
day 1.
No, but I get it too. I hate that. Honestly, I hate that first night because you walk in and some people are there, some are not, you know, really. And so I get the feeling. Imagine walking into a ballroom where people are standing around and everyone, and it's a mixer. So you really are not doing a program.
Anything.
You were just saying, hello, how are you? My name is Steele. I'm from Brooks Boutique in Pearland. Where are you from? You know, that whole.
Yeah.
So it is. I hate that stuff too.
Yeah.
And so, but to share with everybody, like that it took 2 hours, because some people pretend like, you know, life is easy. And it really, and if you looked at the Instagram where you two are having the best time and making reels and all that stuff, then you would think, oh, that's great. But the reality of life is not everything is
true,
like what it's shown. And so I appreciate you being vulnerable and sharing that with everyone and being truthful that I had to be talked up with my friends, which you're lucky to have, for 2 hours, you know, and not everyone will. And then think of you in the morning and that's what got you by. So I can't thank you enough, truly, for doing that because you didn't have to. But I hope you grew from it too.
No, I definitely did. I think that the reason why I don't what is that called? You never see me in crisis is my dad's biggest thing is he's like, you can never let anyone see you sweat. That is when people win against you. He's like, you can never let them see you struggling. You can never let them see you're vulnerable. Like you can have all of those emotions, but you can't let other people see it when it's happening. So I think that kind of mentality carries with me in a lot of things. So I don't seem like frazzled or like confused because that is just, he says that all the time. He's like, you can never let anyone see you sweat. You have to.
I mean, I don't disagree except that I think that there are times where you're trusted people. Like in
Yeah.
public, sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But I'm glad you have people like your your roommates that you could let them see you sweat,
Yeah.
privately. And you always know you have us,
Yeah.
even though, we're work, but, there's never, and we would obviously never do it.
Yeah.
I was going to say on a
think
podcast, but we are. But
Yeah.
where you I hope you feel safe there. I hope everyone has a safe place
Yeah.
where they can, because you can't be strong all the time.
Yeah. I think that it's you definitely have to like fall back, but you kind of gotta, I think, hold it together in front of others. And I think that the only reason I really didn't like say anything to Lauren was because I'm trying to even like hold it together in front of her.
Sure.
Because it was like, we're far away from home. I don't want to seem like the weak link. I don't want her to baby me because I'm showing, I'm being like kind of anxious. So
okay, so then how was the rest of the, like, then after you got that, you had day 2, which was the bus tour. And for those that don't know, basically everyone goes on charter buses and they visit 5 different types of resale boutiques, high-end, children's, nonprofit, furniture, just to see how other businesses do it. And it's very easy social. It's not sitting down all day and not, it's just the networking amongst people, but you don't have to if you don't want to. And then then Saturday is the day of classes, and then Sunday is kind of a wrap up. But then there's a lot of intermixing and networking and talking and all that stuff. So the rest of the day, so at the day 2 you felt better, and then you went to the bus tours, and you can talk to whoever you wanted to, and I'm sure you and Lauren sat together on the bus. Okay, so then there was a dinner, right?
Yep.
Friday night.
There was like the fancy dinner.
I know, where you wore the beautiful red dress. And then how did you feel then?
I think that at that point I'd kind of rallied.
Oh, good.
With once my friends did that 1-2 hour conversation, and then they sent me those morning text messages, I kind of rallied at that point. Good. So at that point my spirits were high, and I went into that dinner feeling pretty, which I think is a huge thing.
And you did.
When you feel good in what you're wearing, it kind of, amplifies everything else. So I felt good.
FYI, I'll side note, if you want to see what she looked like, all you have to do is go to our Instagram page, Love Brooks Boutique, and Lauren did 3 reels while they were there.
Yeah.
And so that would have been day 2.
Yeah.
So if you look day 2 of their NARS conference, I believe there's where she opens the door and you can see Jen all dolled up on that Saturday night. Okay.
It was fancy. Yeah.
So you felt good.
I rallied at that point, and I think I started to become more comfortable with like what to say, kind of like opener questions, that kind of stuff.
Which is good. I tried to, and that's a great idea, to prep things ahead of time so you already have opening lines.
Yeah.
Right?
And we kind of talked about what we needed to kind of ask. So I was kind of asking around those certain questions that you wanted answered. And I kind of took it in a more analytical way, because I was like, okay, if I just ask these couple questions, I won't be messed up. Like, I will be able to talk about those things. I feel comfortable in those things. And then honestly, the classes, I really enjoyed them. It was feeling like a school, which I do love a little school time.
Yeah.
So I was like writing my notes.
Yeah.
And, asking questions, raising my hand.
Oh,
I was really nervous to raise my hand sometimes. I mean, my heart felt like it was shaking out of my chest at some points. And Laura was like, raise your hand. You got this.
Well, and it's true. And you're younger. A lot of, in resale boutiques, a lot of older people own them or part of them. And so just a side story they did tell me is, like, one of the owners that was also a speaker, I guess missed a network, like just a happy hour type of thing. And they're like, what happened to her? And this is why we want to talk about this, so everyone feels it's normal, is she had, I guess, a panic attack. I don't know if she told you. Oh,
yes, they did.
She had a panic attack.
I ended up asking.
From having to do a session, right?
Yeah.
Like hosting and teaching a session, and she was so freaked out.
Yeah.
And that's like an older woman who's owned her boutique and which means she probably knows a lot of these people over the years, but just standing in front of people really makes people nervous. All eyes on them. So it was very natural. So, well, you did great. I hope you learned. I'm so proud. For those that don't know, I'm having the girls over, all the managers over tonight for management dinner, admin, what we call admin time. But they're going to go over everything that they learned with Soraya, I, and Brooke, so we can see what we want to implement for our boutique. So really excited, but I can't wait, honestly, for Lauren to hear this episode. So because she'll be probably like, wow, I had no idea, you know.
Is, I guess,
which was the point of what you wanted.
Point.
And thank you for going. And I can't wait. This is only the one of many, because this was just this. Jen has the best stories.
Oh my God.
I mean, we didn't even talk about, we're going to probably do another episode story on some of Jen's life. She probably has the most honestly interesting life. We think it's like Brooke as a 19-year-old or as Lauren living downtown. No, Jen has the best stories that I have been finding out just setting up this podcast. So I can't wait. We'll do another episode soon. She's got some stories to update me on and share with you guys. So thank you guys for watching. I appreciate you, Jen, for sharing. If you can relate to any of this, or, you know, want to give her some love, don't hesitate to reach out to her and us on our Instagram, Things in My Head podcast, all written out on Instagram, and also at gmail.com, or of course directly at the boutique, Love Brooks Boutique. That is ours, where we probably know you, and I will share it with her. So love you.
We'll see you.
Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.